Hello, fellow simmers. It's Samuel Beeman of BLS here, and today we're doing another Train Sim Classic video on a new piece of DLC which has recently been released over at Armstrong Powerhouse's website, and that is the Class 222 Meridian Enhancement Pack. And what's really interesting about this video is we actually have a special guest with us today who was really into the 222s, and he really wanted to be in this review and help out with the review. And he is James, aka Britishkid317, and you may also know him as the friend from the BLS vlogs, as he's been in a couple of BLS vlogs as well. So if you'd like to introduce yourself, James.
Yep, so as Sam said, I'm James. I'm a qualified second man at the GCR. I'm not a driver on the main line. I've never driven a 222, real one, but I do travel on them a lot, so I think I can talk about them a little bit for this video, hopefully. Answer most questions that Sam's got, hopefully.
Touch wood.
yep, touch wood. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put this as a disclaimer, guys. I don't actually own this pack yet. I probably will do at some point, and this is basically I'm viewing it from James's game because he owns the pack, and yeah, I just wanted to see, what it's all about. And to be fair, from what I've seen so far with what he's streamed of it, I'm actually quite interested in it, and I quite fancy buying it. So I will do it eventually when I get a chance to. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to look through some of the liveries that are included with it first, I think, aren't we, James? And just have a little look round of what's included. You haven't placed everything down, though, have you? There's a couple of liveries or variants that you haven't placed down.
Yep. So we're missing 222-016 with the replacement cab, so it's got the full yellow cab on it. I've not put that one down, but that's obviously included. And there's a couple variations in numbering sizes as well that I've not put down, but the main liveries are there, so we can look at those quick.
Excellent. So should we have a look around? So what's this one we've got in front of us at the minute? So this is the Hall Trains livery, this one, isn't it?
Well, this is it. So as these came into traffic, can't remember years or what orders or whatever, but yep, some of them started on the East Coast under Hall Trains, and they were known as pioneers at the time, which, in fact, it says it right there. So I've put this one down so we can see it quick.
And so this is just your bog standard Just Trains 222, isn't it? It's not had any sort of changes in the means of the model or the textures as such, has it? I'm guessing these are just pure reskins of the standard 222 textures, are they?
So I'm going to assume no, because this is all of this is with the EP from Armstrong Powerhouse. So going off of what Richard has done in the past, it'll be either well, I think he uses AI upscaling now, doesn't he? If not something complete, like that, yeah. If not a complete well, livery made for it. So I can't really say that much, but if you zoom into it, it doesn't look that bad.
No,
maybe not into that bit, but
it's horse trains. Do I like the livery? It's not my favourite on it, I don't think, but at least it's nice. It's there, it's good. It's there. Oh, we've even got a nameplate on the side as well. That's pretty cool.
You do a nice little sticker there. It's not a bad livery. It's different. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Great Western Fag Packet livery on the HSTs.
Yeah, it looks a bit.
I like weird liveries like that.
But it looks somewhat strange, sort of foreign as well. I get foreign vibes from it for some reason.
Yeah, you could say that. It's definitely different, and a bit more colourful than what you get most days this in current year.
From the livery, from that, yeah, that's a lovely one. So from the liveries, would you say that these look correct? Would you say that from what he's done, it looks pretty spot on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my 222, I guess, novice knowledge is from EMT onwards. So I didn't grow up with the middle and mainline ones, certainly not Hall Trains ones, but from pictures and videos and that sort of thing. They look pretty spot on.
I must admit, I do like the Midland mainline one. It does look really nice,
It
to be
is
fair.
it is very good. One thing that I
Yeah.
would like to say quickly is how bad of a choice this was. Black text on a dark green there. You're going to miss that if you're spotting, aren't you?
Yeah, you're not going to see that till I. Really,
No.
what they should have done is they should have put it gold, like the Hall trains.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it would have made more sense.
would have made it stand out. That's a bit of a design issue there. It's a little bit better on the middle mainline livery. Still
Yeah.
nothing on the front though, so from a spotter's point of view, you're going to miss that. But oh well, it's accurate to my knowledge, and it's pretty good.
Also, what's interesting about the Midland Mainline one is that there's two brands on it as well. You've got the sort of the front brand, which is the white Midland Mainline logo, and then you've also got a green one as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Towards sort of the back of the power car. Is that the power car there? Is that?
Well, they're
I'm
all
guessing.
powered. Every
Hmm.
coach is powered. So I guess they're all power cars in that sense. They're just typical DMUs, really. Every coach is powered, unless, of course, the engine is dead. Which these days, quite often, they are dead. Maintenance is lacking, but that's because they're out every day. But yeah, why they did that, honestly, I couldn't tell you. It's a little bit weird, because you've got it right at the front there, then you've got it there, but you don't seem to have it, well, you've got it in the middle of the coach there. But
Basically, you've got it everywhere.
yeah. Why the two types, I don't know. I kind of like that though.
I must admit, I'm liking the texturing here as well. I can see he's put down. Yeah, so these have definitely been upscaled. I can see that now.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we've got like flies that have, hit the side of the train, so it looks like it's been going at speed.
Yep. Smeared across it.
Smeared across it. Yeah, that's definitely your typical AP upscale textures.
Yep.
Yeah, because as I say, at first glance, when you look away from it, it sort of looks like the standard JT 222 texturing. But obviously, when you go up close to it, you can really start to see the upscaling, and I think it's definitely more. You can see it better on the Midland Mainline livery to opposed to the Hall Trains livery.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
So I should have probably put one down. So that was an oops on my part. But I did a couple of days ago put down an old, just completely default JT EMT one and compared it with the EP, and you can tell the quality difference. You definitely can. But as you say, I think it is upscaled, so it's not the best, but it's definitely good enough.
Well, it's the best we've got now, isn't it? It's the best that what can be done with this relatively old model now, which
Very old
it's
model.
been around for a few years now.
Yep, quite
Yeah.
old. So don't go too close to the interior because that is poor.
Yeah,
That's
you
really
can
bad.
tell that is older gen railworks right there, can't you?
Yeah, that is poor.
Yeah.
Another thing that I can demonstrate with one of the Alive units set over there, by opening the doors, which is a little bit easier. But when you look inside, I mean, come on, that's just the top of the bogey there.
Yeah.
It's quite poor, but as long as you don't look inside of it like that, it's not the worst in the world.
No. It gives the correct profile. It looks like a 222.
Yeah,
It's
a very old
the best
model.
we've got at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an interesting one because this looks like it's an unbranded Midland Mainline variant.
So yeah,
And
to a degree, it is. But this is during the transition into EMT, East Meets Trends. So it's got the branding there along the whole train, I believe.
Pretty interesting. I didn't even know that this was a thing that transitioned between the both like that.
Oh yeah. So it'll be similar to well, quite like this livery really, EMT livery. But then when EMR were transitioning over, the stagecoach livery remained, but of course you've got to change the branding and everything. So took away this and put EMR branding along it, which I could have put down that livery as well, but I didn't, so oops there. But essentially, this is, both of the middle mainline liveries, they're the same, it's just different branding for the two true transitions there. Doesn't even look that bad either. This one's named City of Nottingham.
Very good, very good.
They decided no plates there, they'll just, I don't know, paint it on, I guess.
It's good quality, and I think as well that the good thing about it obviously being painted on as well is because we know that Richard of AP he can't model, can he? So he can't do the 3D nameplates on any of the EPs and stuff. So in a way, it's kind of good that some of these have been painted on, so it just avoids Richard having to faff around with that. Which I do believe he has modelled a couple of nameplates, or well, textured the nameplates on the side of some of them that are meant to be 3D, hasn't he?
Yeah. So again, could have put one of those down. One in my head is 222008. It has got a nameplate on the MSRMB vehicle, which in this consist would be... Which car would it be? Maybe... I think it's easier to do... Oh, it would be this one. And the plate is here on 008. We have looked at the... Well, I should say. I've placed down an EMT livery, just like this, with the nameplate on it. And the scale of the plate isn't correct. So I don't know if it was just a carryover from JT and they included it. Or
I see.
If it is a Richard model that he's put on the side, I don't know. But it's got the colour. It's got the colour of it. But the letter font is incorrect, and the size of it is incorrect, and the placement is incorrect as well. So
basically, it's wrong.
Yeah. There's like one aspect of it that's correct, and that's the colour of it. But this is not 008, so no nameplate there. However, this one does have a plate, but it's not a plate because in real life it is a sticker, which is like that. Doesn't look the greatest. I suspect that was just a faded picture that was taken and then stuck on the side of it.
Yeah, so that's meant to be 3D, isn't it?
No,
in reality.
No, this is a sticker.
Oh, okay.
In real life, this is a sticker.
That's interesting then.
Yeah, so some of them, I think stickered ones tend to go on the driving vehicles, and the actual nameplate ones go on the MSRMB vehicles, which are in the middle of the sets.
See, that's different, isn't it? That's because you would have thought that they would be on the driving vehicles, but there you go.
It's a bit of a weird one, but I guess variety if you want some variation there.
I would say this is probably the most well-known livery for the 222. Anyone who thinks of a Meridian thinks of this livery. You know, it's because it's just that. It's just well known. I think it's been around the longest, hasn't it?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the dates wrong now. Oh dear. I think this was 2008. That's when EMT became a thing. Stagecoach livery. I'm not sure when that started popping up. But then it was quite recent that it disappeared. And of course not on 222s, but with other units, it's still around. So yeah, I think most people will at least remember this livery on the 222s. And it does look pretty good. It's not a bad livery design, it's nice and colourful. I mean, as long as you don't zoom into it like this, you're not going to see many real issues with it.
One of the things I did notice on pictures and stuff is you look around the front there, you can see the lining of the red band. That doesn't quite match up into the middle. Is that realistic like that? Is it supposed to... I think it's just on... I remember seeing it on one side, I think. And it... You see what I mean? It isn't quite...
I think I do, yeah. That's... It's like the centre of it is. Oh, it might be. It might just be a little off-putting there.
Yeah, I
You
think
can
it
see
is
it goes up a
slightly
little bit.
off, but I mean, you have to be really nitpicky for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
As long as you're not looking dead on, well,
no.
that's not bad. So yeah,
But
this is the one.
apart from that, it's pretty good.
It
So,
is. I certainly love it. It's just a good livery. Not just in TS with the EP. It's just a hands down good livery. It's nice and colourful, nice and modern, if you will.
modern.
Oh yes,
Yes. Yes.
that's a good word, isn't it?
Yes. Well, how I look at them, don't I? So, as modern units.
I mean, they kind of are. They were built after 2000. I want to say 2003, I think. At least
So they're not.
somewhere
Yeah,
around there.
they're not that old realistically. Then.
Versus other things, no. But then, say they are 2003 build. Again, I could be wrong, but let's just say they are. That's still 23 years old. They're about midlife at the minute.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's getting on.
It depends, I suppose, what you associate with old, isn't it? Because when I think old, I think like 50 years plus or something,
Yeah.
40, 50 years plus. But when it's like 20 odd years, I think, yeah, that's still quite modern, I suppose it depends on people's perception of what is modern and what is heritage, really.
Agreed, and I think a lot of it also comes down to what you grew up with. So, okay, for at least both of us, we haven't really grown up with triple twos. Me a bit more, yes, because I now live in Nottingham, and I get these quite a lot. Have done since 2017. But originally, I'm from down south, and I grew up with 317s.
Yes, that's the same
I don't
as
look at
it
those.
is.
Well, yeah, I don't look at those as modern, but now that they're all gone, it's a bit weird. It's one of them
Oh,
ones.
yes.
So when these
Yes.
go, once they're all gone, which is soon, as 810s start replacing them more and more, it's going to be a bit weird, because they are a more modern piece of traction, but they're being replaced by stuff that is quite literally brand new.
Yeah, it's kind of strange to think about,
But then,
but they are.
at the same time, these are midlife, 20 plus years old now. But then look at some other stuff that was retired at that age, like hydraulics on the Western region. I don't think
Yeah,
they even
true.
made it to 20, did they?
No, no, I don't think so. I think they're notorious for being quite short-lived, aren't they?
Yeah.
From what I recall, anyway. Because
So
for whatever reason.
so look at it like that. Locos that had a lot of life left in them, quite clearly, retired at a young age. These about midlife now, retiring, but you still look at them as modern. It's one of them funky ones to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So we've got the moderner liveries
Yep.
over the other side. I'm guessing behind us somewhere.
And here we are. So this is EMR interim livery, although all but one unit of triple twos wears this, and that special one is down there, which we'll look at in a minute. So here we have 019 in nice, lovely EMR livery, which I actually quite like.
The last livery it's going to be in.
Well, not
Technically.
necessarily. No, because some of them are going to Lumo
Oh, okay. Fair,
Um,
fair.
to work on the west coast. In fact, I think all but one, possibly all of them now, have gone to Lumo. The ones that they're going to take anyways. And I don't know what livery those are going to go in, but I'm sure they will go into one at some point. So we'll have at least one new livery at some point in the future on the triple twos. But as far as this one goes, it's quite nice. The blue Windows surrounds has remained from the EMT days, which looks a little bit weird on the purple and grey and white background there, but it's quite nice. Certainly not the worst.
Is it to what it should be in reality? Because I mean, you've seen these liveries often, so you should know if there is any problems with it or any issues as such.
Yep. So yeah, I get these regularly to go to the GC and obviously come home. I can't really fault them unless I put up a picture and a picture and compare them side by side, which I haven't done. But unless I do that, I cannot fault these. The colouring is spot on. Everything is in the right place as it should be, to my knowledge.
So he's done a good job of this then.
Yeah, I'm very happy with these. We've needed them for a long time, and without a new model, which there's always going to be issues when you don't get a new model. That being one of them. It's definitely good enough. There are some features missing that I would like, and that kind of thing, which I'm sure we'll get into shortly. But purely on livery side, I can't fault it. It looks really good.
Yeah, I as I say, it's not my favourite livery. As I say, I'd say my favourite's obviously always going to be the East Midlands Trains.
Yep.
But from what I can see, it's done nicely.
Yep.
And I do like must admit, I do quite like the front like that. It does look quite mean, doesn't it?
It does. They just look angry. They look
It
like
does.
they mean business.
Yeah.
It's kind
That's
of a
one thing I
brutal
will
face.
say about this livery is it does make it look very angry and very, like you say, it means business.
Yeah.
You know?
See that storming towards you on the middle main line. It's quite something.
Oh yes.
And then we've got 104, which is in full purple livery.
Do you know what? I think I've seen this one. I'm pretty certain I've seen this one. I'm pretty sure I passed it at one point.
This is the only 222 in this livery.
Blimey. I didn't even know that at the time. I was like, oh, that's got to be the new EMR livery coming, because I think I saw it when I was on a Meridian. No, it was on a HST actually. I actually managed to, because I was lucky, because I had to divert when I was coming home from the GC at one time, so I had to divert, and I ended up going on a East Midlands HST.
Okay.
Which I was lucky with, because that was the last time I rode a HST, or well, one of the first times I rode it, and one of the last times I rode it on the main line. And
it's quite a lot there.
yeah, and I saw this come past, and I thought it was going to be the new EMR livery, but it turns out it wasn't.
No, well, so it is, but not for the 222. So this one was done as a publicity thing, basically. And it was originally a 4-car, as were not all, but a lot of the 222s in EMT's fleet and EMR's fleet. But with the 810s being 5 cars, and they were going into this livery, or I should say they are in this livery, except with different coloured doors, which I think are gold. So this one's a little bit different to the 810s. Interesting. That's really put me off now, my train of thought. Yeah, so this is the only 222 in full purple, full EMR Intercity livery. And it was just for publicity, basically. But it does look really nice. And I don't know if I prefer it to the interim livery. Because that has a little bit more colour. The blue's a little bit funky on it, but I kind of like it. But again, to fault this, I can't. Now looking at the set, I'm not entirely sure that's in the correct place, this coach. But we'll gloss over that.
I quite like the lining on this livery. I think
This is nice.
It's unique, it's different.
Yeah. I think that's just the aircon well, essentially.
Sounds like thrash.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll get into that, I'm sure. They do thrash a little bit, which is weird to think about for a DMU, but I can assure you, it's a very nice livery. So
It's
yeah.
gone off.
Oh, maybe it's the compressor. Maybe they've
It's
all
gone
got
off.
compressors.
That's interesting. I quite like that. Quite a neat little sound.
I should know what that is, but I don't. Well, I guess it's compressor
Oh.
given that series of sounds are. And then we've got one ticking over, just the one engine.
Yes. So another thing with that is, obviously, for those who don't know, Richard has recordings for the interior sounds for the 222s, but he doesn't have recordings for the exterior sounds for the 222, does he? So the exterior is technically taken from a Voyager, isn't it?
Yep, he recorded a Voyager some years ago at whatever that depot's called. I can't remember the name of now. But it was a cross-country Voyager that he got. So the exterior sounds are exactly that, and the interior he took from a cab ride video off of YouTube of a 222. So it's a little bit mishmashy. I know he's said it a few times in other people's streams and such that he's tried to record a 222, just hasn't been given access to do that yet, and that is difficult. So it's something that we've really needed for a long time. He can puzzle things together because he is pretty good at doing that, I think it's fair to say. And I mean, they've got the same engine. I know I'm going against my own thing there of saying, oh, they've got the same engines to sound the same. They don't. They absolutely do not. But with these, they are so close. I mean, if you're experienced with both of them, you're going to know the difference. I'm not with Voyagers. This is pretty accurate, I would say.
I'm just hearing the idle and that. To be fair, they sound similar at idle, I know that, but in the means of when they rev up, they are slightly different, and I think that's one thing that I have noted with it. But we'll get onto the sounds, obviously, when we drive the thing, won't we? We'll
Yep,
get on to looking at that a little bit more in detail on that.
we can
So
indeed.
you've got one engine working on that set there.
Yes, so this is currently set in eco mode, which is something that you can do in the editor. And what that is so with the real units, of course, if you're sat somewhere with all engines running for 7 minutes with your key out of the desk, all but one engine will shut down, and I believe the one engine stays running to supply the electrics and keep the batteries charged, keep the air up, that sort of thing. But it just saves fuel and wear and tear, of course, on the rest of the unit. Richard, I don't want to say he could have, but he very much could have included eco modes where if you're sitting in the train, sat with the key out in the sim, then that would happen. But he hasn't, unfortunately. So it means the only way that you can demonstrate it is by doing it in the scenario editor to start off like this. And then once you click on the unit and you start all the engines, that's it, unless you shut all of them down manually, which is a little bit of a shame.
Yeah, that is a shame. Yeah.
It's one of those sacrifices there that we've had to deal with. But
So that's something he could have done differently, I suppose. Really, is try and script that in, but
yeah,
it is what it is. Yeah.
I did send off an email about it, and another issue, which is the volume of the DSD when that starts beeping at you. And he came back giving the reasons why, which is valid. It is valid. It's just a bit of a shame that you've sort of got half a feature there, if you want to look at it like that. But, you know, I mean, we could have just not had it at all. And I'd very much rather have what we do have rather than not.
Better to have something than nothing at all.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, Well, we'll start off quickly with 109, as it's completely shut down, so we can get startup, shutdown sounds of this.
Yeah.
And then I can show a couple features of it, and then I think we're going to do a scenario.
Yeah, we'll do a short sort of half-hour scenario, not a really long,
Yep.
one, because obviously we want to be sat for like 2 hours.
Can't be doing that. Well, I
No.
could, but yeah.
So, because if you're watching a YouTube video, you will want to sit for 2 hours watching the same thing. You would click off. So,
Pretty much.
half-hour scenario is good enough.
Yep. So here we are. We're in the enhanced cab, if you will. Completely shut down. There's no air, but this thing builds air so quick, so that's not an issue. It's not bad. It's of course not a new model at all. It's just retextured, or I guess upscaled now. Again, I have compared. Probably should have demonstrated in the video, but I have compared the default cab to the EP. It is very different in terms of quality. I can definitely assure you with that. This is miles better. And given, of course, that we can't get a new cab or a new model, this is as good as it's going to get, and it is pretty good. Couple of things missing. So GSMR, it's there. It works, but only if you plug in the information into the scenario editor. So you can't click any of the buttons, which sucks, but again, without a new model, it's a limitation. At least it's there. At least you can do a keyboard command and it'll work. Same thing with the NRN. Can't click it, doesn't work in that sense, but if you plug in a bit of code into the scenario editor, which is all in the manual, then you can get that to auto register. So at least they light up and show the correct info. Horn.
So that's another thing as well, isn't it? That anyone who has this pack must read the manual. It's imperative to,
Yes.
to get the best out of it. Yeah.
Absolutely, because there are key commands for the SDO as well, because again, buttons don't work, but you can, in fact I can demonstrate it with the engines off. With the key command, you can select how many doors you want to open, and it does work.
Very cool.
So yeah, it's got working SDO, which is absolutely phenomenal, honestly.
So you had the horn down there as well, which is all present.
Yep. So we don't have soft tones, which is a little bit unfortunate, but again, with the restrictions in place, we'll take what we can get. The horns outside, even though I've got nowhere I can demonstrate, is unfortunately quite old. It's not it's not 100% to a 222, but it's close enough.
Is it slightly different in the cab?
It is, and I love it in the cab.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because they are different recordings, aren't they?
Yep.
Technically, which, yeah,
It's one of them ones. You just gotta kind of live with it. But if you only drive in the cab, which personally I do, when I'm on the move, I'm only in the cab. That doesn't bother me, and it sounds better inside than it does outside. So I cannot fault that. But even with that said, if you compare them inside and outside, they're not that different. Which, if I just demonstrate quick. It's not
yeah,
that different.
they're not that different. To
No.
be fair, no,
Which is good.
I think you can get away with it.
Yeah. What else is there? No TMS working, which is a little bit of a shame, but again, restrictions. We'll live with it. None of this is clickable, although I don't think any of it is anyways. They're just indications. By default, that is lit up to say that your DSD or DVD is isolated. I always run with it working. Which, saying that, for the pedal, I've got some rudder pedals, so I can simulate that nice and realistically. On the left side, this doesn't work, but again, new model, it's one of those restrictions. Lights, they all work. Even got hazard lights working, which is really good.
Ah,
Nice simple feature
they
there.
are. Look at that.
Can't go wrong. And they all work. The backups, they're just backups for whatever reason. So if we just start off like that, cycle through them. Markers, day, night, day backup, night backup. Help, I'm in danger. Tails.
I must admit, the LED textures look nice.
Yes.
But I'm guessing the other ones are incandescent, aren't they?
Um.
I don't know.
So no. Triple twos are, I guess, young enough that they were never fitted with incandescents. They are all
so they're not.
LEDs.
So them sort of orangey are still LED technically.
I believe so. I could be wrong.
I mean, it does look like a bulb by the looks of that.
Does a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. At least for the markers, those are. I mean, you can just tell that there.
Yeah, you can tell that there. Yeah, I don't think that's as nice as the LED textures.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But that said, I mean, these are white. They're not the brightest in game. But at least there is a big colour difference there, so you can see what is a marker and what is the actual headlight, which is
Yeah.
good. It breaks it up a little bit. And it's not the worst texture in the world. I mean, it's not the greatest, of course, but it's not too bad.
Seen worse.
Oh yes, yep, definitely seen worse. Which also saying that the coupler, it's not the greatest looking coupler in the world, but it's there. Back in the cab here, so we'll get some markers put on, I think. That works. Climate control, that doesn't work. However, this does, and it does change the sound, depending on what setting you've got it on. I don't think auto or emergency make any difference, but fast, slow, and off do certainly make a difference. Not going to hear it with the engines off though. So I guess we could start it. Shall we do that?
Yeah, we'll start it up and see how it goes.
Okay. I will just quickly say that I'm using a TS Controllers PBC. It's the original version. Mine's a little bit funky at times. And before I start it, I will just say that with the PBC, it is notched. In the 222, in real life and in sim, this is not notched. So you can clearly see that this is basically variable, and it is. Off, of course, that's going to be notched. Then you drop it into 1, and then this is just a guide. So all of this is variable, which is kind of strange to think about. However, with my physical PBC that I'm going to be controlling this with, because it is notched, it's going to sort of bump it into notches. So depending on what my brakes are saying, and like engine noise for acceleration, that sort of thing, it's not going to be 100% because I'm not doing it variably, I'm doing it notched, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, key in. Press the DSD down so it doesn't start beeping straight away, and we'll take it into neutral. And we'll go for engine start.
It's very quiet in here, isn't it?
It is. It is very quiet. Now, I've never been in the cab of a 222 whilst moving, but from what I can imagine it sounding like, and of course I've travelled on them as a passenger, in the saloons, in the vestibule ends, it is bang on.
Yeah.
which is really good, really good. So as we can see there, the air is building up really quickly, but we've got 5 compressors working away across the whole unit, so that will build nice and quick. I think it takes a little bit of time to give a different sound for fast there. We've got instrument dimmer switch, so dim, bright. There is no off option, but you don't need an off option for that. Cab light, nice and bright. I'm sure it's up there
Where it's
somewhere.
casting from though. It's sort of casting from nowhere, it would appear.
Yes, that's again model restriction. You just kind of got to live with one of those, unfortunately. It is a bit of a shame, but I mean, if you can't get anyone to build your stuff, then you just got to work with what you've got.
So what's the cab views as such? Is there like a second man driver side, or does it scroll through stuff, or?
Yep, so of course main seat, and then we'll hit the right arrow key, takes us to the GSMR, NRN, second man seat, which is terrible sighting, and then back into the driver's seat.
Ah, so he's added some more views, as it were, to oppose to the original as well.
Yep, so it'll just be these two for the 2 radios.
Yeah.
Not that you really need them because you can't press the buttons anyways. But at least they're there, so if people want that sort of thing, then that's of course really good. Equally, with the heads out view, of course you've got that one from the door. You're not going to be driving like this. Up here, you're definitely not going to be driving like this.
No, that's just if you want to hear some noise.
Pretty much.
Hear the exhaust.
And there is clag factor, which is really good. They do tend to be quite claggy. Just break off from there. Can't really see it, but when you do put the engine up a bit, it also shows up a bit more there.
Yeah, you can sort of see the difference there,
Yeah,
ish, with the smoke.
it's quite faint, but it does change. A weird option that's been included, but I am absolutely not against it, I am forever for this, is DOO has been added in. Now these units only ever run with a guard when in service, so why include DOO on a unit that only ever runs with a guard, which with other packs in the past has never been done? I don't know. I'm absolutely not against it though, because I do like having that option. So for example, if you're sitting in the depot, you can open the doors up and have a look.
Okay, I like that. You know, that's different. I've never seen that before.
That's what you want. Oh, and I can demonstrate. Yeah, that just looks terrible. Basically,
Yeah.
don't stand on a platform trying to get a picture like that, because it's...
No, that looks awful.
yeah, that's bad. But again, old model. We'll have to look over it, I suppose. This door does not open. Not unless in real life you've got a T key, which would go in there, so... I don't know what that's all about, because there should be a T key slot there. It does get operated when it's really busy. Platform staff will open it up, so you've got that additional door to get people on and off nice and quick. Otherwise it's just locked out. And we've got the crew door here, which clearly states the instructions there. Passengers cannot use this door, but guards typically do. So it's nice to see that that door also opens. Sounds for the door alarms are a little bit quiet outside. I'll demonstrate inside first. It's pretty accurate. And then what we'll do is we'll give it some of that. Let's just say we've got SDO of 2, so that's 2 coaches on the platform We're a 5-car train, as we can see here, so that means 3 coaches are hanging off at the back. Not exactly ideal, but hey, could happen somewhere. So let's give that a go. So what we want to be seeing, actually, if we go SDO3, there we go, we can see it from back here. So what we want to see is these 3 coaches, all doors open, these 2 do not.
Yep.
And there we go.
And it's awfully quiet for the opening door sound now, I must admit.
It is. I think it could probably do with a little bit of touching up. They are quiet in real life, but I don't think they're that quiet.
No, I think that's a bit...
It's a little too quiet. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's SDO. You can't go wrong with that.
That is a cool feature. Again, that's just something else that's been added. It's, you know,
Yep.
little extra bits.
Exactly. The bill lights here, so the door indications remain off on the coaches that are not unlocked, which is good. And of course they light up there on the doors that are. Although it looks like this one's broken. Well, that's something for the report books. This one hasn't decided to open there. That's not how it should be.
But it says it's open on the unit. That's what's really interesting.
Yeah, they're unlocked, but they haven't actually opened. So yeah, that's one for the fault book. Fault found on depot. Don't take this into service. And we'll go for the door closing sounds. Can't even hear them.
You can't hear them at all.
Well, I know they are very quiet, but
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, you could do with a bump up there. We've got PIS displays here, so they don't show any calling on or calling at stations, but you can cycle through them using F7 and F8 to show whatever you want.
And I take it that's the same for the destinations on the front of the unit, as it were. Well, I keep saying loco unit.
It's absolutely a unit, and they look pretty good. I'm sure someone will do a patch for them and say that they're not, but I mean, to me they're good enough. I mean, half the time this whole bit of the window's incredibly dirty anyway, so you're not going to actually see the thing. Does anyone look at the displays anymore?
Not necessarily. I mean, I suppose the only reason you would look at the displays is if, obviously, if you're looking at the displays on the station and a train comes in, you need to obviously look at the side of the train to see if that is the actual train that is meant for that service, you know, just in case it might say something different. There might be a train that's delayed, or it might be, you know, it could be from a few reasons like that, couldn't it?
Yep. I think most of the public don't tend to anymore, which is personally stupid, but whatever. That's not for me to thingy there. What else have we got? Oh, we've got a weird one. It's in the manual. I didn't know these units had it, but they've got something called active DRA. So my sunflower is lit there, and if I turn the DRA off, after 5 seconds, it should start flashing at me. There it goes. So I can't take power with it now flashing at me, and that's a additional safety feature to basically tell the driver, hey, your sunflower's lit, there's a reason why it's lit, because you've got a signal against you, potentially. So, you know, just be cautious, but the way to reset that is to put it back on, turn it back off, go for power within that 5 seconds, is how that one works. So we'll leave that on. What else have we got in here? It's quite basic, really.
There's not as much features as some of the other stuff you get on AP, no?
No, it's quite basic, but again, without a new model, how are you gonna, you know, implement other things? You're really restricted. I mean, to have radios in the way that we do, and SDO in the way that we do, is quite, what's the word? we're fortunate for it, I should say. So let's go to the back cab and see what we can mess with there. There we go. That's just coming up there. Oh, maybe I should actually turn this cab off first. There we are. Right, so I'm in the other cab now, what is now the leading cab, if you will. And at the other end, I've left the headlight switch in anything something than other than tail. So it's showing the tail lights at what is now the back of the train as not being on. Oops, my mistake. Oh no, I'm due out in 5 seconds. What am I going to do? I'll just press that, won't I? So if we go to the rear of the train. There we are. We've now got reds on the back. That's good.
That also sounded very, very good when you were going past it at speed there.
Oh, we'll do that properly, I'm sure.
Oh yes. That is really nice.
It's one of them.
Yeah, that is really nice.
So, what could we do here? What could we do? DSD sounds like this.
Yeah, I see what you mean by that being slightly quiet. That should be louder than that, surely.
It should. Again, I've said it a few times. I'll say it again. Never been in the real cab on the move of a 222, but I have sat behind the driver's door where we're allowed, and you can hear it at about that same volume, and you're quite some distance from the cab, which is also behind a closed door. So it sounds correct in terms of the actual sound of the DSD, but volume wise it does need touching up, and that is something that I did send off to Richard in an email, and he did say thanks for that. I'll make a note and possibly look into it in the future, which is really good. Hopefully he does. But another thing with putting it into forward or reverse is the engine note changes, which is I guess unique in a sense, so we'll try that. So see if you can notice the engine change.
Yeah, I hear that.
It's got a high idle, so that's it's showed in the trailer video. It's mentioned in the manual. What that is just gets the engine ready, starts supplying power to the motors, so you can take off a lot quicker. Is the basics of it. And outside it sounds honestly pretty accurate.
Yeah, that does sound pretty spot on, to be fair.
I cannot fault that. I really can't. It sounds fantastic. Engine shutdown. We'll do some of that, and then we'll do start up and shutdown outside.
Yeah, I'll say you can't really hear it massively from the inside, can you? It's all very sort of quiet and soundproofed, as it were.
It is, which is of course really good for the actual drivers who drive these. But you can hear it, and you can hear the motors when you're moving, and it sounds really good as well. Let's get away from that noisy end. Go for a start up. Shot down.
You know what? That's quite satisfying.
It's not bad.
It's quite satisfying. I like how it starts up and it does like that sort of, you know, that sound. It just it does sound really quite good, to be fair to it.
It does,
and the shutdown as well. The way you can hear the ticking, and then that's good.
It's really not that bad. They are old recordings, and again, it's from a Voyager, not a 222. So when you mix all of that, you know, you can hear some issues with it in terms of quality, but on the whole, and given the restrictions, it is really not that bad. And in the cab, I cannot fault it, to be totally honest. Inside the saloon, it looks terrible, but never mind that one. We can go for startup, and it does sound really good in here.
I like it because it sort of gives you a bit of a vibrating sensation on your eardrums.
Yep. Especially if you've got your bass tuned up. Which
that is very realistic.
It
to
is.
be fair.
Yeah, you get all of that rattling. You can feel the whole thing shake when it does start up. And of course, I mean, in the simulator, you're not going to feel it, but you can hear it, and that plays a big part of it. And shutting down is exactly the same as well as real life.
Okay, I really like that. That's very good, actually.
I cannot fault it. All of that violent vibrating, you feel that in the real thing.
That's really good. I'm impressed with that. To be fair, that is really good.
It is. It honestly is. And with so I can, I could demonstrate it very quick. So take key out of there. So we've got this one. It's got air because the rear engine is working away there. But of course it's in eco mode, so we'll start it up. Exactly the same. Now we've got 5 engines running.
And that's how it will be for the rest of the sim now, basically, because you can't, as you say, you can't take the key out and do it again.
Unfortunately not, no. Because what you would get, you do that at either end of the train as long as your key is out. Start counting 7 minutes, and the whole thing, except for one engine, will shut down. But unfortunately, that's not an included feature, which sucks, but oh well.
Oh, the thing is, as well, what I like about it is you can basically hear that start up and shut down from almost like 3 different angles, can't you? Because you can hear it from the interior cab, from the exterior, and from the passenger view as well. I think that's really good.
And it all sounds very accurate.
It's all different as well. It all sounds very different. It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good for variation, depending on what how you drive and how you treat the sim and stuff. It's whatever you do, you've got something slightly different, at least in that regard, with all the sounds, which is 100% what you want. Another feature that I didn't mention is car wash slow speed. You just press that, and now your train is limited to 3 miles an hour. You can put it into full, and it will only take it up to 3 miles an hour, and it will stay there. And that's just when you go through carriage washes. So you can include that, but not the eco mode with the key out. That's I've said enough of that.
yeah, you've said enough. But there you go. You know, there is proof he could do it. I think he could do it.
Yeah,
but he hasn't done it.
He hasn't done it.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It will probably forever bug me, but hey, you know what? We've got what we've got, and I am really happy with what we've got, because the only other option was default 222s, which look and sound like crap. Yeah, there are some improvement packs for it. Same with the Voyagers, but mine have always been broken, and I could never get them to work. So
Did it ever get
this,
a sound pack? Oh, it did it get a
it
sound
did,
pack? Or...
it
Yeah.
it did. I never got it, um, because at the time when it was out, I didn't really have an interest in these things. Um, so and even with that sound pack, it you know it's quite old. The quality just isn't there anymore. I believe the exterior horn is from that pack, because it does sound quite similar. Um, but yeah, this EP, it was 100% needed. And for what we do have, apart from the volume of the DSD, a couple small little bugs which just need ironing out. Like with the SDO, that leading coach, the doors didn't open. I don't know why, but one of those. I, yeah, it's just very, very small, minute things that they just add up. But overall, can't really fault this.
No, it's very good. Right, so now we're going to be able to see one in action, aren't we? We're going to see one in scenario. Oh, also, I've just noticed that we've got the labels of the cab there. We've got cab 1 as well, look, with max speed,
Yep.
125 miles per hour, and
Yep.
the unit number.
And at the other end, there we are, cab 2,
Changed
different
it.
vehicle number, but all
Yeah.
that's the same.
Sunblind, which you were messing with a minute ago as well. Yeah, cool.
Yep. And the nice thing is, it's at a nice angle where if you did want to drop it down, but you don't want to move the camera around, which is one of my biggest issues, because then I've got to reset it like that. The tab is right at the top of the screen there, so that's quite nice. But that's just one of my sort of little pet peeve things there. On the wipers, you've got intermittent, slow and fast. It will eventually go back, slow.
Do you hear that continuously as you're going along, or?
You do if you've got them going.
That's, I suppose, after a while that could probably get slightly annoying.
Yeah, probably.
But to be fair, if it's realistic, then that's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just how it is. It probably drive the drivers insane a little bit, but
Probably.
at least it's there and it
Yep.
doing what it's doing.
Right.
But yeah, so I think you've done well. You've shown everything in the cab. We've gone through the startup and shutdown, gone through the liveries. So I think it's time to get one in action, isn't it? Really, on a scenario,
Yep.
presumably on one of the included ones, right?
Could do. There is a particular favourite of mine, which it's third party. It's available on ATS, which is from Nottingham to, well, the real service goes to St Pancras, but unfortunately we can only go as far as Leicester. But that's a particular favourite of mine. It gives you, I don't think it allows you to show off the SDO in anger, but you do get good speed out of it on that one, and some variation in traffic to look at as well.
Is that the one that you're thinking of showing? The one that you say is you drive best on, sort of thing, yeah? Or
Yes.
yeah.
I'm quite lucky
Okay.
to live on the Middle Main Line, and I'm not going to say I'm an expert in driving it at all, because I'm not a real driver, but it's one that I can do very comfortably, and I know where all the points and like, I know what I'm doing.
To be safe, perhaps we should load that one up then. So it's a third-party scenario from somewhere, I'm guessing.
Yep, it's from ATS.
Do you know who it's by?
If it's not by this guy, I'm gonna be upset, but I'm pretty certain it's Mr. Dreamliner. I think it was his one.
Yeah. Well, I'll make sure I'll link whatever scenario it is in the description of the video as well, along with the, obviously, Armstrong Powerhouse 222 EP, so that people can go and check them out if they want to, experience what we've experienced in the video.
Yep.
Okay then, so let's load up the scenario then and get to it.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are. We've launched the scenario, which is from Alan Thompson Simulations, isn't it, James? Yeah.
Yep. Fairly confident in saying this one is from Mr. Dreamliner. It was one of the first ones to drop when this released, which is really good.
So we're on 1 Bravo 71 1805 Nottingham St Pancras International, based in 2017.
Yep. So we've got GSMR, which is good. We can show that off now. And this one starts in eco mode, judging by the briefing there, which is really good.
Yeah, I'm not going to read out that briefing. Anyone who's watching the video, you can read it, because that is quite a chunk to read there.
It's basically just our calling points, which are, of course, Nottingham, because that's where we're sitting in Platform 5, Beeston, Loughborough, and Leicester. So we're fast all the way down. Not calling out East Mids Parkway, which is a little bit funky, but I'm sure that was just part of this timetable at the time. So there we go. Plus, it also means that we could just go fast straight through it, which, even though we'll only be doing about 80 through East Mids, but whatever. Maybe we could get a platform end shot of it going through or something, which will be unusual for me because I tend to stick in the cab. But hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to break even your own rule for a video.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, shall we?
Yep. So we've got to get set up, and I'm guessing you have to set up the GSMR and all that lark as well.
Yep. Which unfortunately is just one keybind command there instead of pressing everything. But we'll get that sorted. We get the unit started, and we'll see what happens. Which, if I click into yes, that will be a good start, wouldn't it? There we go. Alright, so I know my calling pattern. I know what I'm doing. Get rid of that. Unisolate that, because come on. So we'll set the headlights up today. We'll turn that off just so we can get a little bit more noise from the motors.
So that is the GSMR working there. Oh, we've got a 158 coming in.
Proper unit that is.
And we're in the East Midlands trains as well.
Yep, 2017.
Yeah, this is sort of the era that I remember, because the first time I came to Leicester was actually in 2017, funnily enough. It was this year.
There you go.
So this was the year, well, that I first, this was like what I saw at Leicester for the first time, you know. Obviously Nottingham isn't too far up from it, but it was all like this sort of look and this sort of traction, as it were.
Yep. You can't go wrong with it. It is mist. The livery is it's just good.
So are we running alongside the HSTs in this one as well?
That goes ahead. That does go ahead of us. From memory, I've done this scenario once or twice now. But I don't think we're chasing it in a sense. Just wait for that. Now the rest of the unit is shut down. It's in eco mode with the leading coach still running, so we'll get that started up. There we go. I think in real life you'd see it on the TMS screen when you've got things running. Unfortunately we can't do that, so we've just got to guess how long we've got to hold the button for, which will say that much.
Yeah, because the TMS screen, it unfortunately doesn't work in this, does it? Which is
no.
There's a shame, but there you go.
We'll do the auto registration.
So, that's not you tapping that, no?
No, unfortunately not. That's doing it itself. There we are. Sounds like the 156 is disappearing.
Do you know what? That is actually a shame. That kind of does defeat a simulation aspect of it, not being able to use the GSMR.
Yeah, it does. It is unfortunate, but it's one of those restrictions. Unless you've got a new cab, or something along those lines, then that's the best that you can do. Which, if the option is to have it or not, I'd very much rather have this. Right, my door panel is freaking out a bit, so let's just restart that program before we go anywhere. that down. I'm just trying to get the TS controller's interface to restart. It's being a pain at the moment. So I think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm using the PBC from TS controllers and the door panel, but my door panel's having a bit of a freak out at this second.
Well, that's quite unfortunate because we do actually have a green signal.
What are you doing now? It's time to go in 30 seconds. Come on.
One eternity later.
Right, technical difficulties have been resolved, I hope. Forget about the track, that was always there.
Yes. So a little trouble with the TS controller stuff, but you've sorted it out now, which is all good.
Yeah, it's one of them things that happens sometimes. Although on this occasion it took a little bit more persuading to work, but we're here now.
So this is your local station then, James, isn't it?
This is
so
it.
Is it accurate?
I'd say 90% of it is. There are some issues, but overall, yeah, it's good enough. It looks like Nottingham, put it that way.
Yes, and if anyone is wondering about the route, it is actually the Just Trains Midland Main Line route, isn't it?
That's the one.
Yeah. Not the AP Midland Main Line version, which can get quite confusing between the two.
Yeah, so that's the bedpan, and this is the Midland Main Line. They are the same, but they're not, if that makes sense. It's the same route.
They're titled the same, but they're not technically the same. Yeah, it's a weird one.
So they're both part of the Midland Main Line, of course, but the easy way to, tell them apart is bedpan, Pancras, Bedford, or the other way around. And then, of course, the rest of the Midland Main Line is, well, the rest of it. Apart from a couple missing sections, but oh well. Alright, so it's 15 out of Nottingham. I'm sure you all saw the 25 speed sign there, so we've got a 5 car. Just wait until we're clear of that, which we should be now. Up to 25. You've got all the rattling from the bogies, which these are well known for.
Yeah, I do. I love the rail joint sounds on this. That is one thing I really, really like about this.
It is. Yeah, it's really good. 40
Probably
speed
sounds
sign.
good. It sounds good from the outside as well, doesn't it? Going over them joints.
It does. We'll take a look at that at a little bit more speed, which we can do up here when we go past the loop. So up to 40. We've got a 50 there. Shall we full handle it? There we go. Just get a bit of that turbo in there. Listen to that. And the motors, of course. Oh, we'll do a little bit of unrealistic stuff here. There we go. Well, where's the joint? Outrageous. I was hoping the joint would be there.
158.
Oh yes. What I'll do, I'll get it.
Oh
up to
look, is that
70.
the Nottingham tram link up there?
That's the
That
one.
is, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it goes over the railway twice. That's the that's one of the points there. The other point is, of course, at the station. Right, so we're up to 70. I'm just doing a running brake test. I'm happy with that. Let's go for it.
So driving wise, obviously you've driven it a couple of times. What do you think of the simulation aspect of this unit?
Well, I've never driven a real one, but I've been on a lot of them, and I know how they feel, including in emergency, which, well, won't go into that, but from what I've been able to test in the sim and compared to my real life experiences of just being a passenger, I must stress, it feels pretty accurate. I cannot fault it, honestly. Especially the sounds of it, I cannot fault it. So we're up to 80. First calling point is Beeston, which is just after this bridge. So we'll start slowing down now. See if we can get some chance.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that is.
It's not
I
bad.
very much approve of that. That is very nice. Yeah, that is one thing I did notice. Obviously, because I watched you drive this on stream in a VC at some point.
Yep.
Well, when you first got it, and that was one thing that really did catch my eye with it was just the sounds of the rail joints. I just really liked them. I just think they just sound really, really good.
They are very distinctive, extremely rattly. Why? I don't know. They do sound like they're going to fall apart, but I've not had one fall apart on me whilst I've been travelling on one, so that's a plus. Of course, don't want that happening, but there we go. And the motors are phenomenal. So we want that SDO sign in the window. Just about there. We're a 5 car, so we don't need to worry about that too much. Get the camera reset there. It's really not that bad, this thing.
That is a sound, the idle of that is a sound I am familiar with, especially at Bournemouth as well. That even because of the voyages.
Yep, of course.
Yeah, it's a sound that I've heard for a long time now, so I'm sort of getting used to it, as it were.
Yeah. Certainly, well, I'm certainly used to it, and it's going to be weird when they're all gone.
Yeah, because you no longer hear that sound, will you? Not that sort of. You just wouldn't, would you?
Not unless I go to Derby and spot some Voyagers. I think there is still one booked on Saturdays. It's the first cross-country service on a Saturday, really early in the morning, and I think it goes down to Bournemouth, but it starts at Leicester. No, it doesn't. It starts at Nottingham, and that's a Voyager. Unless that's stopped with the timetable changes, but as far as I'm aware, that still happens.
I didn't realise there was a direct link of a Voyager to Bournemouth. That's interesting.
Only that one.
So only that one service from Nottingham.
Yep. Well, that one in the morning. I don't think there's any more.
Yeah, I did not know that. It's quite a way to go as well.
Oh yes. Alright, full throttle there. So line speed of 80, it becomes 70 when we traverse Trent Junction, and then it goes up to 90, 110, eventually we'll get some real speed out of this.
It's an unusual sound because it kind of resembles an electro star hearing it from in here.
A little bit, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, well, of course, the motors are electrically driven, so you can really hear those, including when braking, because these have regen brakes, which is something I didn't point out, but I can do. So that's your regen braking percentage indicator, if you will. But below, I think it's 12 miles an hour or so, the brakes are blended, so the regen will knock out and the actual brake pads will take over, or disc brakes will take over. The needle does move for the regen, but with my camera angle it disappears, unfortunately. Passing Attenborough. up to 80. This thing coasts really nicely as well, so I'm now shut off, no power, no brake, and it will basically just sit at 80. Well, it's dropping a little bit, but, you know.
Yeah, so just listening to it, I do recognise the sounds from being a passenger, and that
Yeah.
it's easily recognisable.
It is very quiet. Most of the noise that you actually hear is air passing over the cab. Until you hit points like that. But they are very good units. So yeah, at speed, and it is worse when you're at, you know, 125, for example. But with the DSD, that is quiet. That is really quiet, and I can't imagine it being that quiet in real life in the cab. So dropping it to 70 because it's just around the corner.
Yeah, so it is a semi-stopper service, isn't it? Sort of semi-fast.
Yep, running as a class 1, but of course, I mean, the majority of the stations are south of Bedford, and you don't stop at those. Well, you might do, you might call out like Luton and stuff, but you're not going to call out all the others like Flitwick or something. So the only unusual one for me, really, is not stopping at Eastmid's Parkway, which is nice because that means we could just go straight through it.
I will say, scenario-wise, this is actually a really good scenario. There's been a lot of interesting stuff to be seen already.
Yep, there is more to come. 90 board there, just wait for the train to get somewhat past it. Full throttle, and off we go.
Yeah, so you've route learned this route quite often then.
Yes, I drive this a lot, and it helps running on the route in real life as well quite a lot. So I'm very confident with a lot of this line. I don't need any silly aids. Ivy's on the right, they're well clear, but you never know. Freight there. Let's see if we could get a passing shot somewhere over here.
Oh yes.
Can't go wrong with
no,
that.
That does sound good. And you can thrash this thing as well, which I'm sure you'll demonstrate at some point. Perhaps when we leave the next station or something.
Yeah, once we've stopped at Loughborough, I can demonstrate a little bit of that handle action for you. Because it's weird to think that you can thrash this, but the way that the turbo works in comparison to the engine RPM, if you wanted to, you could. And it sounds pretty cool.
I will say, you know, because one of the things that this pack that was off-putting to me personally as a customer, or you know, in general, is the fact, obviously, hearing about the fact it has Voyager sounds on the exterior and 222 Meridian sounds on the interior. So you've got two different sound sets in a sense.
Yep.
But to be fair, from what I've seen and what I'm hearing, it's not too bad. You know, it's bearable. You can get away with it, I think, just about.
You can. The tricky part is to remember the restrictions in place. So specifically for the sounds, Richard has tried for a while to record a Meridian, and just hasn't been given access to do it. So working off of what you can, this is what we've got. And given that this is all we're going to get, potentially forever, you know, this is really not that bad.
Yeah, because the issue is, what we've got here is, because obviously the Meridians are going out of service and presumably some of them are being scrapped, right?
not scrapped, but apart from the ones that are going to Lumo, which I believe all of them are now with Lumo for the West Coast stuff, my understanding is the rest are going into storage.
Yeah, so he's running out of time to get those recordings, and that is
Yeah,
a bit of an issue.
it is, and it's a shame. But there we go. The upside is the sounds are from a 222 inside, and this is where I spend all of my time driving inside. So personally for me, it's not an issue. And outside, from what I have heard, apart from the horns, it's pretty accurate anyway. So I'm not particularly bothered about it, which is, at least for me, that's a good thing. Of course, I would want it to be 100% pure 222, but, you know, again, restrictions. Just not going to get it. So now we're braking for Loughborough, which is just after this bridge. Got more high-vis on the side of this bridge here.
At least you get to make use of the horn.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with that horn. That's a lovely thing.
Yeah, that's another thing for those who are watching. Take note. You are technically supposed to sound your horn when approaching a staff member with high-vis on beside the line.
Oh yes, you
And
always want to do that.
yeah, so for those, because obviously I know there's some people who would play this and they wouldn't do that because they wouldn't know to do that. But technically, on a railway term, you should do that so that they could acknowledge that you are approaching.
Yeah, you don't want. Well, I mean, just put it as it is. You don't want to hit anyone.
No, yeah, exactly. You know, and that is the reasoning for why you do it. But obviously, some people wouldn't know that. You know, you wouldn't if you was somebody who hadn't necessarily driven a train before, or like, well, even to be honest, hasn't really been a volunteer at a railway or really worked at some form of railway, as it were. They wouldn't really know to do that.
Yep.
Because the only way you would know to do that is if you're a volunteer at a railway somewhere or you've worked on a railway. You know, it's
True.
one of the rules you get given or told when you're working at the railway.
It's true. Well, what we'll do is I'll wait until the doors are closed so I can give a beep beep and whatnot. Which no, doors are still open. My door panel's just being a bit funny. God, look at that. We're early. What do you know? Just look at that job card there, if you will.
This is actually quite realistic as well, because I do find that the units, they do kind of sit at Loughborough for a fair amount of time, to be fair. They sit there for a good like 5 minutes before actually leaving.
Could do. Well, I've not known one to sit for that long, but Loughborough is a busy station. Nowhere near as busy as Leicester. That is quite chaotic at times, of course, during rush hour. But yeah, they do try to hurry you along. Doesn't always work, of course. A lot of people have headphones in. A lot of people just think about themselves. But yeah, as long as the train's on time, and you know, you could be sitting for a few minutes, which ain't bad.
I'm also noticing the bridge over the line. Look at that.
There it is. Soon. Well, soon.
Soon.
That's all you can say.
That
soon.
will carry over a steam locomotive or a diesel.
It will.
From the Great Central Railway.
Well, hey, who knows? Maybe the 153s to do a local service to bring people to and from the railway.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know?
If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, it is actually that green bridge in front of us. The green. Is it a girder? I think it's a metal structure, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That will carry the Great Central Railway once again at some point in the future. If you want to see that happen, give us your money, because it will happen a lot quicker if you do. Just to put it bluntly, but that's the truth of it.
Yeah, that is the
Please
truth
do
of
that.
it. Donate to the Great Central for the bridge.
Oh yes. But in all seriousness, that is the bridge. There's still a few more to do. It's coming. It's just slow, but you know, it's just one of those. It will happen again. Trains will go over the Midland Main Line along the Great Central, and it will be, well, there's no other way of putting it. It will be historic. It will be special.
It'll be quite a sight as well. Even just standing on this station at Loughborough and seeing a steam engine or something, just something go over that. You know, what a sight that will be.
It will be really
know?
special. All right, doors closing. So yeah, I'll go on the other side of the platform, go into forward, and then we'll get a disappearing shot.
Bit of thrash, so we can hear them engines.
Oh yes.
No, come on, that is really good, isn't it?
You can't go wrong.
I'd say well done to Richard on that.
Just
Because
can't
that
go
does
wrong.
sound pretty good.
I mean, I was playing about there, just power on, power off, but the fact that the turbo is that quick and as dumb as it sounds, you can thrash it, is pretty hellfire. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I noticed you were playing with the throttle there. It just you know, and it made my jaw drop. You know, like just like oh, you know.
It's good.
And I never thought I would you know think that for a modern unit. You know, and and this is the thing. This is what made me kind of all of a sudden like Voyagers, because I was standing at Crewe Station doing some train spotting.
Yeah.
And there was a Voyager leaving from under the canopy. I was just filming it. I've got it on film somewhere, and he just full throttled it, and it just sounded fantastic. It did like you know that turbo scream and everything, and I heard it and I thought, bloody hell, that's the best Voyager I've ever heard.
It's,
you know?
Yeah, these units, and of course Voyagers, because they're virtually identical, at least in terms of you know the underneath gubbins. You don't need to be gentle with them because they'll sort themselves out. It's just the way that they work. So you can just full handle it at a stand. You probably shouldn't, but you can, and I'm sure probably most drivers do. Because you know you just got to stick to strict timetable, timings and all that stuff. So you are just going to full hammer it. And they do sound pretty good. As weird as it sounds, it's not a 37, it's not a 50, it's not a HST with a Valenta or any other engine. But for what they are, they're pretty good.
Well, I'll definitely say that they're one of the best sounding modern units.
Yeah.
That's what I think anyway. Obviously, other people have different opinions, but that's just how I see it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Everyone has different tastes.
It's just a shame they don't do it around Bournemouth, and well, the main reason for that is because of the sharpness of the curves in the station. You wouldn't, you know, full wang it around there. Oh, there's a 68. Look at that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ballast.
That's Mount Sorrel, isn't it?
That's the one. A lot of I think it's limestone that goes in and out. Well, just out. Empties go in.
But yeah, so they don't do it around Bournemouth, which is a shame because I'd love to hear them thrashing, but obviously you have to go to certain stations for that.
Yep. Line speed restrictions and all the rest of it.
And the thing is, what I'll say is to everyone, you know, make the most of them because they're not actually going to be here forever, are they? Like,
no, nothing lasts forever, which is a shame. but it's the truth. Certainly in the case of Meridians, their days on the middle main line are numbered. And it's a shame because they are really good units, but their replacements are coming in. I have been on a couple 810s myself, and I've been on one of them twice, so I've had 3 trips on 2 separate units. One of them, when I got off it at Derby, decided to then pick up a Doorful, which was kind of funny to watch. But yeah, the 810s, they're not the worst new pieces of traction out there, I have to say, and I'm pretty against new stuff, just personal preference wise. I know it has to happen, but it sucks.
Cough 720s.
Yeah, no, those can get in a bin, 100% all day, every day. Because, well, for those who don't know me...
plastic rubbish.
Yes. Well, I grew up with 317s, and as some people, well, most people probably don't know, but they replaced 317s, and 317s are my babies, so... Yes, stick the 720s in the bin, all day, every day.
Yeah, but not only that, but they're not actually very good units. I've ridden in one, and I didn't enjoy riding in one. I found it really quite uncomfortable and just naff.
Yeah.
You know, they're not actually that nice.
They are
700s as well, horrible. Don't like them. Just feel uncomfortable and awful. Just barely any padding on the seats. Shite.
Exactly. So with the 810s, I've only done Loughborough, Nottingham twice, and I've done Eastman's Parkway to Derby. So I've spent 20 minutes on each trip that I've done on them, and I've only done the 3 trips. And I gave them a good little test. So I stood up for part of the trip to get, you know, a ride quality feel for standing up. Sat down in different parts of the coaches, and honestly, they are really not that bad. Padding on the seats is virtually non-existent, but there is some, and it's not the worst in the world, to be totally honest. I don't know how I'm going to feel the next time I go to London, if I'm on one of those, how that's going to feel, because that's a long way, that's a lot longer than 20 minutes, but it'll be interesting. And yeah, as far as new units go, they're not the worst.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah.
That's good.
I've never been
moving back over to...
Oh yeah, go
Sorry,
on. No, you go.
I was going to say, moving back over to the topic of the sounds of the 222, which we did a bit earlier with at Loughborough.
Yep.
Obviously, you had that really nice sort of loud turbo and that, and obviously I said how hellfire it sounds and all that.
Yep.
But the question is, do Meridians sound as good as that? Like, because obviously I heard a Voyager at full chat like that, and it did sound like that, and it sounded mega.
Yep.
But do Meridians sound like that? And this is the thing. This is where it comes on to: is the exterior sound 100%? You know, will a Meridian ever sound like that?
Yeah.
You know, you just.
I know what you mean.
I don't think I've really heard one sound that great, like to that extent. If that makes sense.
So my experience is with Meridians rather than Voyagers. I've never been on a Voyager. I've only seen them disappear from Derby and the odd time from Nottingham in the mornings. They do sound extremely similar. It's never going to sound 100% because they are different, and even if it was recorded from a 222, it'll sound different compared to another 222. It'll sound different compared to one that's only got 3 engines working on a 5-car set compared to all 5 working. But for what we do have, it is the best that we're going to get, and it is pretty accurate. And we're not going to get better than this, so kind of just got to take what we've got. But what we do have,
you got to take it. You got to grin and bear it, innit? Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what we want right there on the right, HSCs.
I'm very impressed with the scenario. There's some really nice, you know, AI coming on. I think the guy who's done this has done a really superb job of it, actually.
Yeah.
It's a really good scenario.
I'm pretty certain it is Mr. Dreamliner, and his scenarios I've always enjoyed. I can't fault them personally. But here's our replacement driver, because we can't go any further south, unfortunately. Key out, and there we have it.
So, overall thoughts then, James, on the Armstrong Powerhouse 222 EP?
Apart from the small little things like the DSD volume, half missing eco modes, that might be a door issue for SDO. Yeah, I'll give it a solid, for what we've got, a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with it. Obviously, I haven't got it yet, I haven't driven it, so I wouldn't know how to comment on that side. But from what I've seen on, obviously, your screen, and from what I've seen of it, it's actually really quite good.
It is.
It is a bit annoying how there's two different recordings. You got Voyager sound on the exterior and obviously Meridian on the inside, but with how good it sounds, you kind of forget that a little bit, because you just think, oh wow, that sounds wicked, you know. Whether a Meridian sounds that good in real life, which I don't think it does. I think, you know, probably Voyagers have more of a oomph and more of a turbo scream like that, you know. But obviously, as you say, limitations with recordings. He can't really do anything about it, can he? So if he can't do anything about it, then we're going to have to just take it.
He's done what he can with all the restrictions, and obviously not being able to record one is a really big restriction when you're doing a pack on the thing that you can't record. But yeah, what Richard has done with this one is really good. I can't fault it. Not that much anyways.
There we are. So what we'll do is we'll link the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 222 Enhancement Pack in the description of the video, so you guys can go and buy it if you fancy giving it a crack. And we'll also add the scenario that James has just played in the description of the video as well, if you want to go and have a look at that, which it was a really good scenario, to be fair. Just looking at it,
highly recommend.
It was a really good one.
Yep.
So there. So I think we're done for today, aren't we? I think we've had a look. We've covered everything. I think we've both agreed that actually it is actually a good enhancement pack. It's worth getting, and for £15, that's quite a good price for what you're getting.
It is. I can't fault that pricing.
Considering most stuff is £25 and upwards of APs, you know, that's really good.
Yep. Agreed.
So there we go. So, hope you guys have enjoyed watching the video. Hope you comment, like, and subscribe. And you never know, you might see James pop up again as a guest in another video. Who knows?
Yeah, could do.
It's entirely up to him. Obviously, it has to be something that you enjoy, and you know, something that you think, oh, yes, I'd like to come and have a talk about it. You know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We will see.
But we'll see. But it's been good. It's been good to have you, James.
Oh, thank you.
I've enjoyed doing this.
Good.
And seeing the Meridian.
Yep.
And for everyone who's watching, thank you ever so much for supporting us, and we'll see you again in another video.